There are no limits for you anymore, other than in your mind. And so, through engaging with my like outside, Nico did an activation with me to start seeing energy and frequency and stuff like that. I've seen little glimpses of supernatural stuff with energy and auras. But he operates in it so big and he's such an expression. We're one, and if I honor it, it can activate. So we get out there and he goes, I want to do an activation. So I position my heart and I was like, he's me, I'm him, whatever he says is going to be active, you know? And he goes, now look over there and look not just at the blue sky, but what's holding that together basically. Like, what's going on in the invisible? And I'm looking sparkles and waves. And I was like, I'm not high. Am I like, what's going on right now? You know what I mean? Someone slipped something in my drink, you know? And, yeah, it was very, very real. And very overwhelming, too, because I never experienced that. And then I saw a flock of birds. And he goes, starts talking about the birds and engaging with that. And in my heart, I was like, come to me or be really close to me. I just want to engage closer because they were far off. And then a flock of birds flies down from above my head right in front of me and flies out. And I got, whoa. And then after that, he invited me to go into the snow, basically. He didn't directly say go into the snow. But we were doing that. And I go out there and I stood in that for 15 to 20 minutes, dancing and doing engagements. Yeah. And after about 5 to 10 minutes, the pain, I embraced it and said, you're not bad. And I don't resist the weather. That's part of Mother Nature. That's part of Mother. And I honor this. I embrace this. And then the cold pain turned into warmth.
Yeah.
And so I went downstairs and I just sat alone to process like how amazing that was. Because normally weather is conflict instead of comfort. Normally bad weather is something I'm resisting or not in agreement with or wanting to change it instead of embracing it in relationship. And so that's what he walked me through, and I became aware of a lot of stuff I'd never been aware of.
So amazing. Then you see the spirit of the tree, right?
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely.
And then the tree introduced itself, and if you were to wave his hands, the tree will wave back with his hands.
And it happened. Anyway.
Yeah. Real.
The spirit in the alive.
Exactly. What about the biofield or spirit?
When you start to look at it not as an object, but as a spirit, it takes on a whole.
And there's only one spirit, which is you, me, everybody, the oneness.
One spirit,
one
mind, Father, of all, in all, and through all.
You can think as the tree.
And that's the best part is, he goes, now when you breathe, the tree breathes, and you can actually go into the tree. So I took a breath, and I saw the tree go whoop, whoop, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then, when I was in the tree, I felt millions of little things around the tree, little bristles or whatever. I felt all of them, and I was like, what is going on right now, dude? And it's cool because that's why I'm on with that tree. And I got to
Took a couple of seconds, right?
Yeah.
Just 1, 2.
It was honored. That's the truth.
Yes.
Everything's already here.
That's how it happened.
Heaven is already here. That's it. It's already here. And if I honor a certain aspect of it, it activates in my human experience.
You want to see something really neat now? So, whatever you have going on with the healing, right? His spirit man is going to become one with yours. There's only one anyway. So I want to show an activation for him to do. It's going to be pretty cool. So what you do is just kind of look at him, but look at his spirit. Like be aware of his aura and his field. Even if you can't see it, just pretend that you are in your imagination. And relax your body and become sensitive. So if you take a deep breath, you go into a brainwave state called alpha, and Jesus is going to do no miracles in his own hometown. It says, which would be beta brainwave, where you take a lot of information in. A day in heaven is 1,000 years on the earth. So I mean the flesh or carnal mind. Now you take a deep breath and imagine that you're an angelic being, which you are, and your spirit just comes out and consumes her like the Holy Spirit, the pure awareness that he has, will just come out and reach you, and just be very sensitive and aware and open. And this is a cool one. And come and get you into the environment. So it's happening now.
Check the shoes.
All slides of suspicion, judgment, and everything, deep love, and harmony, God believes, love believes, and trusts all things. Identifying with the Lord. As you go deeper and slower, you become more sensitive and aware. You can start to see if you're looking, or even if you're looking here, you can actually just look in front of my hand if you want to, and just for about 3 or 4 seconds, and you're going to start to see waves, if you will, and sparkles, and then you can see some beams and forms fly by. Some angels come.
Also, don't take them.
Yeah.
Yes. And you can even picture where it is, which is above this right over here. Right, so you can see my little biofield coming out of my hands. So you're looking at one spot, relaxing. You can even feel this. Of course, if you feel like something tension or something pushing you.
You're the one that started. You're good.
What are you being aware of right now? What do you feel? Cool, right?
So right before you said that, I felt like I was like an angel of fire that was smoking. And so you just said that, and I was like, whoa.
And that confirms, right?
Yeah.
But the operation's going on.
Did you feel me?
Now watch when you feel them. I stick your hand right here, and just like this, like this way. And then now feel the energy. Watch the difference in the temperature. Feel the difference in the temperature. And then touch your hand. See a difference? Cool, right?
So something that happens when we breathe. So the word spirit just came about the past 500 years or so. It was breath. And
Spirit
that's
side of
what's
the Bible,
given,
yeah.
that's what's given life to everything. You know, it's breath. And so
Movement of energy.
when we breathe deep and we become aware that that's God in our lungs, in our body, powering our temple, divine intelligence comes from that breath. And so the more I breathe, the more I activate his mind, and the more my I am expansive named Dan expands in my own human experience. When you're in a dream and you're the observer, people are like, well, I was out of my body in my dream. And I was like, or you were your higher self or God, and in that place you're superseding all things. You know, people are like, well, I don't really feel anything. I said, maybe you're feeling everything and nothing, and you're the observer of yourself in that dream. And then all of a sudden I would expand more, and I would be able to move in the dream, because I am able to do anything in any dimension, including dreams, which I believe is just another dimension of life.
And here's a demonstration. If y'all were to stand up where you're at right here, and just stand up like this, and we will too. Yeah, stand up with us. And we're going to show you the hand, right? Like you said,
I am
the
fire, so
Yahweh, right?
I'm not stripping.
So, yeah, just leave it like that. Watch this. Blow right through her chair, through her body, with your intention.
It's like the patron saints, the patron saint of X, Y, Z,
You too.
that which they can overcome. Yeah. So you are the patron saint of everything that you want. Yeah. And everybody's free from that walk. Yes. Yeah. And I get that now. Goodness.
Okay. So you know what that was there, you know, my hand stopped. So the cycle there, so we don't need words, but Jesus says, I pray for your sake. Right? So it's like a hypnotic giving in and a humility. So we just cancel the lies of the doctor, and we speak harmony and peace over the situation where you judged and deemed and agreed as unholy to claim it holy now. Just like that. Elements are changing and transmuting now. We love each other, and this is holy communion, holy community.
Judging the body righteously.
Discerning the Lord's body righteously. You've always been perfect, and you've always been in harmony. So, Word be made flesh now. How's that, yo? Beautiful. Love the environment here of peace. pain? No gain? To be honest.
Now you can go outside and do 20 jumping jacks. Huh? Now you can go outside and do 20 jumping jacks.
She's a drill sergeant, not the rigid.
I am. Look at that.
That is your arm too, right here.
Yeah, we're one.
This is your shoulder
How do
too.
you feel? Good.
Do you, tinglings or warmth in your body?
What couldn't you do before?
This here has like I work on it, so I kind of tore something here, and so I have hard times, especially at night. Here it hurts like.
Isn't it wonderful that now it's been 6 to 7 months since you had that pain, you no longer have it?
Wow.
I remember
How
when.
many 6 to 7 months? That's true.
Yeah.
Amazing. That was a by faith affirmation.
I remember when I had pain for 6 months. That's what
And
he's
now you
saying.
don't.
Put it in the past.
Put it in the past. And it's because we're on your channel, on your vibration, on your frequency.
No, I'm hot.
Yeah. We know we've seen you on magazines.
An orb came down and hit her left hip.
You hear that? An orb came down, like an angel, a cloud of witness, an angelic being, something in the unseen world, came down and targeted your left hip. It's on the camera.
Wow.
You see it too, like a flare in your naked eye? Yeah.
What does that left hip represent?
So the right shoulder and the left hip, the right shoulder would stand for that you're carrying heavy burdens, maybe for a male or masculine energy that you're carrying. For somebody a lot that you're always looking out for a male in your life, and sometimes it's overbalanced. And the left hip, it could be for your job as well. And your left hip means refusing to move forward in a new experience or a new opportunity that's being presented to you over and over and over again. And about taking the bold faith move, making that decision.
I didn't understand that.
But she does.
You guys say it one more time for the people in the back.
Because your soul is serious.
Did you understand that? Bloody hell, you must be serious. No, did you understand what I was saying?
What I'm hearing, it's like
Parables?
too much going on.
It's a lot to digest.
Say it slower.
Ask her
Well, it
about
says,
the ask her about the left hip scenario in a form of question, if there is something like that.
Definitely. Let's see. Have you been granted maybe an opportunity or a job, career, or a decision that in your mind may be a risk to you to take or you're unsure of that's been floating around for a while?
You keep saying no to it. Pushing it to the side. You keep pushing it to the side, and you're like, I'll come back to it. I'll rethink it.
Every time.
Okay.
Ministry.
Thanks, Daniel, that word there.
Yeah.
So they say everything Jesus spoke to the multitude in the crowd were in parables, but his disciples were given directly.
Right.
I love that with the questioning. Awesome. Anything?
So with the orb hitting your left hip, we know that this decision, whatever it is, this decision that you keep pushing to the side, that you have angels, you have guardians, you have people who are on your team that are going to protect you and be there for you. So that's like a sign to let you know that it's okay to go to that direction. It's okay to try new things. It's okay to tap into new things.
Okay.
Because if the body or the anatomy is becoming out of whack, there's disbalance, and balance is the justice being served. So remember, Jesus came to fulfill the law. So the laws within your body, the 613 ordinances of the law of Moses that goes on within the body, there's 613 bones, 613 organs and sinews and all the rest. So there's a balance. A sinew could be nerves, tissues, tendon. Yep. Mm-hmm. So and the law is fulfilled by unconditional love. So loving where you're at, taking everything with joy, embracing the oneness instead of seeing a polarity or duality. Because sometimes when the hip shifts, or if someone's going through something, they'll probably get into a car accident, they'll fall down some steps, whatever it is, and the lower back will end up going out for like finances or whatever. But what all it means is, you know how people have a leg shorter than the other leg a lot, and we see in many ministries their leg will grow out, and they're walking with a limp because it's slightly taller than the other one. And the Bible calls it the spirit of error, or the mindset, or a glitch in the matrix. And the feet is the foundation of your thought life. So, like Paul says, or in Proverbs actually, when the feet is the foundation of your thought life, like my feet take me there automatically. Like you see by the nails on his feet, I'm at the right place and at the right time. But for that to happen is being in stillness, being content. We may not have the ideal job or the ideal career, but we're content where we're at, as in we have peace. That's the word. Content.
Contempt is
That's what it is?
Prior to
contempt is
investigation.
our age.
Okay.
Contempt.
Same thing? That's what it is. Please, 100%.
So something that so I used to do a lot of healing ministry. I was a good charismatic pastor, miracle man Dan, and I mean in the first 3 years, Zach recorded 2,500 confirmed medical miracles that we went through, stage 4 cancer, all types of stuff. And it was great. It was the anointing breaking the yoke. It was decreeing things so they could be established. It was a principle connected to a promise that's non-negotiable, and that's all well and good. But that didn't really help very many people because what if I'm not there?
Yep,
What if I'm not
they're
there?
Looking for a healer.
And so now, when I'm in a drive-through or whatever, and I get a word of knowledge, and I'll go, "Hey, what's wrong with your lower back?" And they go, "How the F did you know that?" And I go, "Well, God's in me and God's in you, and we're all one, and we're sharing life." And I felt that because we're one. And right now, Christ in you is rising up, moving through your soul. You're letting it move through your mind. You're listening to my words. You're becoming conscious. You're ascending consciously, which changes your human experience. So Christ is rising up in your back right now. And he goes, what's happening? You know? And so that's one way that I've been ministering, because I don't want to minister to where you're dependent on me. I want you to be awakened to your oneness, to Christ in you, the hope of glory. So that's now the way that I'm doing it. And the second way that I'm about to start doing it, because it's all manifested over this past little bit, and you iced the cake for me, is that my healing is in this moment and in no other moment. And if I'm resisting and trying to manipulate something or trying to get somewhere else, it's because I'm not trusting that I am right now. And I am right now is whole and healed. And so if I can get out of the past and out of the future and get into who I am right now, which is my expression, that's where divinity moves into my humanity, into my mind, and it renews it into my body and releases peace that passes understanding. And it becomes the word in my flesh of God's promises. And so those two things are really big, acknowledging that Christ is in you and letting that rise up, and also being in the present moment because he wants to be you or you wouldn't be here. So you don't have to try to change anything or anything like that, but being present will bring his presence that's in you to provide what you need in that moment.